It's okay. Off your mind. It's okay. Off your mind.
Chai! Now wow, people wey suppose talk truth to power don't off mic. And if we talk, now 500,000 they go sama us, call them hate speech. But fear not, my ego don't come. Him go torchlight every corner, nooks and cranny of all these bad people where they spoil our country. So my people make we laugh, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. My people make we shout, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. My ego don't come, man of the masses, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. My ego diary political, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. This one not the off in mind, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. Can in the touchlight every corner, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. Okay, some people be they holla say they want the power. Chai, them be promise us say we go get light and power. Nah. Them hustle sote they can't get the power. But now they know they do anything with the power. Sure. Every day, dollar just they get the higher power over naira. Still them talk say make we off mind. But thank God say my ego don't come. So my people make you laugh, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. My people make we shout, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. My ego don't come, man of the masses, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. My ego diary political, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. This one not they off in mind, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. Person where they do evil, no one make person talk. Them say that my egun, that man too they talk. He too they talk. Say my egun diary, he they hot like pepper. But every day then they take money in bulk. Woman picking, they the street they hawk. Still them talk say make we not talk. But thank God say my egun don't come. So my people make you laugh, oh, yo. My egun don't come, oh, yo. Mayegun la wa mo la mo dodododo. Mayegun diary, na he be number one. Mayegun la wa mo la mo dodododo. Mayegun diary, na he be number one. Mayegun ti dé o, ọ̀rẹ́ ará ìlú. Mayegun diary, na he be number one. Lórí Facebook, lórí YouTube. Mayegun diary, na he be number one. Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Mayegun já wa sí. Mayegun diary, na he be number one. Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o. Mayegun diary, na he be number one. Bó bá ṣe eré, àní Mayegun máa wí. Mayegun diary, na he be number one. Ó sì tún ṣe eré, wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o. Mayegun diary, na he be number one. Mayegun diary political. Mayegun diary, na he be number one. Godfatherism kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Mayegun. Mayegun diary, na he be number one. Ẹ farabalẹ̀ sẹ́ o kẹgọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu o. Mayegun diary, na he be number one. Àní Mayegun làwa mọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun diary, na he be number one. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Mayegun ti dé. Mayegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn rákì. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Mayegun ti dé. Lórí Facebook. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Mayegun ti dé. Lórí YouTube. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Mayegun ti dé. Bọ́ bàbá gbé wúrẹ́. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Mayegun ti dé. Ijó ìgbádìí yẹ. Mayegun máa wí. Rice tó bá rúfin o.
Máyégún máa mi.
Àní ẹ̀ sọ́ra jù.
Máyégún ti dé.
Kí gómìnà kówó jẹ.
Máyégún máa mi.
Àní ẹ̀ sọ́ra jù.
Máyégún ti dé.
Ó ti dé. Ọlọ́pàá tó gba rìbá. Hello there. Welcome back to the Templars that were with us earlier today. Good morning to you, if you are just joining us. Good afternoon to you. And good evening to you from wherever you are joining us. This is Mayegun live. Thank you so much for joining me again or joining us again. Please read beyond the caption of the broadcast. Read the description as well. Like it. Yeah, this broadcast. Share it. Before you settle down, do all of this. Invite your friends. Invite your not so friendly friends. All you have to tell them is that Mayegun today, Mayegun is here. And thank you very much if you have done that already. The image on your screen is that of Thiefnubu, as well as his wife, Remi Ahmed. Thiefnubu, Rat, the wife of Bola Ahmed. Thiefnubu, Bat. So, which is where we got the rider from. The husband is Bat. The wife is Rat. The two of them are currently on 3-day working visits. According to his social media handlers, Bat and Rat were invited by Macron and Bridget, Emanuel and Bridget Macron, to France to discuss, according to Onofunuga, Thiefnubu's 70-year-old social media advisor. They said that Thiefnubu will be discussing. Okay, let me read the statements, okay, so that we can possibly pick on that. They said that Thiefnubu will have an official engagement which will begin tomorrow at the historic Les Invalides. I realize that one like a less invalid. Invalid, they're like the cripples, oh. But that's what it is called. Less invalid. That's funny. Where the French president, Emanuel Macron, and his wife, Brigitte Macron, will warmly receive President Thiefnubu. So they said the visit will continue with a distinguished reception at Palace de l'Élysée. Elysee's Palace in English. Honoring the Nigeria illegitimate president. He said the visit aims to enhance bilateral ties, focusing on key areas such as agriculture, security, education, health, youth engagement, innovation and energy transition. I believe this is just Onofunuga, right? Doing some mental gymnastics. But anyway, they said this is what Thiefnubu will be doing. In collaboration with Macron, Thiefnubu will address initiatives to boost youth exchange programs and enhance skill automation, entrepreneurship, and leadership. While additionally, both dealers will attend a session hosted by France-Nigeria Business Council, coordinating private sector involvement in economic development. It's a bobo, by the way. So Brigitte Macron and Rat, the Nigeria's Vex lady, They will discuss empowering women, children, and vulnerable populations through Nigeria Vex Ladies Renewed Shege's initiative. And Thiefnubu and his wife will also attend a dinner hosted by French President Emanuel Macron. But that is not what he went there to do. Look at me very well. That is not what Thiefnubu went there to do. I'll tell you what I heard is there to do. But here is the motion picture of their arrival, the usual.
And with the French So that was Koolu at the Paris
airport. Why is Koolu in France? Normally, he goes to France almost every 2-3 weeks. The longest time he's not been to France has been probably like about for like 2 months. That even when he had to go to the any world summit like G this or G that, stopping over in France has always been like a routine until we sort of raise the lead, like remove the lead over why he's always in France for 2 reasons. Why is Macron specifically inviting Thiefnubu, that has been almost like a resident of France since he bought a house there in the late 2017? Well, here is the deal. France has no real interest in Nigeria until they got kicked out from their cash cow countries in the Sahel. Somehow, they've done everything they could to make these guys in Burkina Faso, Mali, Niger, and partly in Chad to change their mind. Remember that a year and a half ago, the journey of how France was to lose their decades-long cash cows, where France, unlike Britain, okay, France considered their old colonies as their own inheritance. So here is the journey. Since the independence, supposedly independence of these countries, France never left these countries to actually make them independent. The resources of these countries were being plundered, pretty much like a stolen by France. And what later came to light after their puppet governments in these countries were putted out of office. Burkina Faso, Mali, Niger, they might be independent country on paper, but they were never economically independent. Their currencies are being printed from France, the franc. And not just that. These countries were forced to keep their supposed foreign accounts, or no, they have a name for that. Foreign reserve. So foreign reserve is like countries like Nigeria that has its own foreign reserve in America with the World Bank. So the only difference is that Nigeria could trade with all countries, sell their own mineral resources, make money, and deposit the money in America, in New York. But you see, these West African countries, these French-speaking West African countries, by the verdict of their supposed independence, they were never allowed to trade with any other countries except France. Their resources were not allowed to be sold to any other countries except French companies. And these French companies are the ones to determine how much they will pay for these resources. And it's been like that forever. For example, let's say a barrel of crude oil is sold for $70 in the market. The French companies will pay probably $1 for this barrel of crude oil. It is that bad. Don't open your mouth like, yes, it's that bad. the other mineral resources, right, from that country that goes as much as $200, $300 per, kg or so, French companies were paying next to nothing for them. And guess what? The money are not directly paid to these countries. The money is paid to France. Yes, to French designated banks. Now, if these countries, or whenever these countries want to draw money from their own supposed mineral resources savings, they couldn't just go there and withdraw the money and say, okay, you know what, we need 500 million euros, or we need 1 billion euros. No. They will have to borrow the money, their own money. They would have to borrow it from the French bank with interest, which left them in the perpetuity of indebtedness to France. And as you can possibly tell, these countries are among the poorest countries in the world. So starting with Mali 2 years ago, that a coup took place, then followed by Burkina Faso, I think, then Niger, which happened last year. These countries cut off some of these French companies, and they started making a deal with not just Russia, including China. And immediately, having lost their cash cow and were losing more, it was around the time that Thiefnubu rigged himself to be your president in Nigeria. Listen to this. So not that these countries didn't challenge this slavery. Some of them did try until they stopped trying, like to renegotiate. Whenever they make attempt to renegotiate these horrible deals, where millions of people were subjected to like excruciating poverty, France will stage coup or kill their presidents so that another person will take over who is ready to play ball. The fact that the countries are not getting the reward, the return from their resources, those of their presidents who could play balls, they were given estates in France. Their family members, all of them were kind of like, they have access to unlimited funds and resources in France, while their people back home were left in squalor. But in these countries, this successive coup that took place in these countries for the first time in over 5 decades, that's over 50 years, they carried out this coup without the notice of France, with no French involvement at all, which triggered them that they issued, not only that they issued sanctions, they increased terrorism in these countries by funding some of these Janjaweed terrorists. France became so desperate that when Thiefnubu, who became a resident in, unofficially, he bought a house there. Well, I think probably that gives him citizenship of France as well. He bought a property worth over 15 million euro in France, southern France, as far back as 2017. That was Thiefnubu. So when Thiefnubu rigged himself in Nigeria, it was an easy ally to approach. Someone they felt like, with all the compromise on him, it could possibly be the big brother that could be used to usurp the powers of these countries. But it was pretty much late. I'll tell you how that kind of played out. So when this coup took place, majority of these countries like the Burkina Faso, Mali, Niger, especially, they just faced Kremlin in Russia. And they got the backing of Russia. So automatically, it became more impossible, almost impossible for France to do what they normally do, stage an internal coup, okay, that will overthrow some of this government and stuff will return back to the status quo. So when that didn't really work at the onset, they approached the druggie from Nigeria, Thiefnubu, if we could possibly, starting with Niger Republic, if it could possibly help, so it would just be like, this was not done by France or America, it was done by the big brother Nigeria, okay, to remove this junta from power in Niger and return Bazoum, their own supposed puppets, to power. Now, fast forward to when all of that failed, because some of you who have been following that don't need this repetition per se, right? So when all of that failed, it was now more or less like, wait, how about we approach this compromised presidiot of Nigeria? If maybe we could possibly even get all these things that we have lost, even they may never really get all they've lost from this, from these West African countries. But maybe they could possibly get a bit of, leverage, so to say. But it is also impossible for Thiefnubu to give them all they want. But they won't stop cutting it by possibly making a deal with Thiefnubu to concede some parts of Nigeria to them, where some of their own, these French companies that have lost out in these West African countries could possibly recoup in smuggling and stealing Nigerian resources. Now, again, it is almost impossible for Thiefnubu to give them what they want, because it is not going to really happen where France or the French companies will move to Nigeria and begin to pay peanuts for any of Nigeria resources, except if they are actually going to be smuggling them. For years, we've had the advancement of this Janjaweed terrorist in the Sahel. There is this French base in some of this country in the Sahel, just like the American bases in these areas. But the presence of America and France in this axis has never really stopped or quelled the advancement of this terrorism, which Nigeria has paid so dearly for. Now, part of the negotiation is, even if they have lost out a lot in these regions, right? There is one project, one big, massive project. It is called the KKK Pipeline Project. Now, America and France, they have invested over $25 billion in this project. And what is that all about? It is to pump the crude oil from Niger Delta and mount pipeline from Niger Delta of Nigeria, okay? And this pipeline is going to pass through the Agadez in Niger and pass through some of this, including Libya. Now, somehow they don't really have much problems with Libya, but with Niger Republic, which they are no longer in any diplomatic relationship with anymore, they still need Nigeria. Nigeria has been promised that they would make a lot of money by, instead of shipping their crude oil to sell it to Europe, their gas to Europe, right? They can just turn the gas or the crude oil on from the Niger Delta, from Nigeria, right? And then the Europe here would have access to these unlimited resources at hugely discounted rates. This is why Thiefnubu is in France. But the problem here is this. Nigeria is already very good on this deal. And Niger Republic that is giving them much conditions, like you would have to kind of probably like redirect your pipeline to somewhere else, or you will allow it on our own terms. So I don't know how much influence France thinks that Thiefnubu still has, or about Thiefnubu's illegitimate regime still have in these West African countries who have sworn, and in fact, they have actually become more stronger now. You know what they did? When France and others were, including America, when they were playing the card of intimidation to intimidate these countries, that if they don't do what we ask you to do, this is what will happen and all that. These countries formed their own bloc by first removing themselves from the African Union, remove themselves from the ECOWAS, which simply means whatever it is that the Africans are agreeing with these Western countries, it will no longer be binding on them. A huge setback for all the decade-long planned, like what do you call economic sustenance of Europe since they terminated their supposed relationship with Russia. Now, Thiefnubu is in France with other nonsense they added to why he is in France. The main reason why he is there is to see if he could, even if he had no idea of how to do it, maybe they can help him to say, can you still please continue to talk to, because there has been so much setback on that project, especially since last year. This is their KKK project. So Thiefnubu is in France to possibly assure them that it will continue, or maybe to plot another means of how they are going to fight back and overthrow these regimes in West African countries. Something I possibly think it is almost impossible now. When these countries, right, when they were under France never, for once, right, trained their military or make their military strong enough to defend the country. The last 1.5 years of the bond between these West African countries has created some level of a strong military, economic bond, not only funded by or supported by Russia, it's also been funded by China. So now they might seem to be under the bullish control of France and America for a while, but now they are somehow with two more friendly world powers, Russia and China. And that is why some people are being skeptical that with the support of the likes of compromised Thiefnubu, who was willing and ready to invade the Niger Republic and start a war last year on the order of France and America, until that plot got leaked. Now, you see this World War III, there are a lot of people are talking about since, right? Which is mostly the war of resources could be brewing in Africa, and not just Africa, in West Africa. Something that the likes of Thiefnubu and co wouldn't mind, as long as there's going to be something for them in it all. France has no economic, economic advantage for Nigeria. France and the French businesses, they do not have any economic, plus for Nigeria. They've never had anything for real. In fact, Nigeria was never a thing to them until 1.5 years ago, which started like 2 years ago. Now that they have this CIA asset, Thiefnubu, that is ready, that when they say jump, all is going to ask them is going to say, how high do you want me to jump? So everybody should kind of pay attention to the news that will be coming out of France and the news that will be coming out of Abuja in this frequent France trip of Thiefnubu. It is not in the interest of Nigeria. It will never be in the interest of Nigeria. And as long as there is going to be money to be made, Thiefnubu and his gang, they will be willing to play ball. As dumb as some of their actions will be, with the promise of support from France and then partly America, yeah, you should please pay attention that Thiefnubu was stopped from invading Niger Republic last year. Doesn't mean that the plan is off the table. It is not. We have received reports severally of how the Nigerian soldiers have been killed by now more powerful, Janjaweed terrorists in the Sahel. And lately, you'll be hearing about the Lakurawa terrorists. They were also from Niger Republic, a mixture of the Sahelian terrorists who have access to sophisticated weapons suspected to be from France, the French authority and all of that. The Burkina Faso soldiers, the Malian soldiers, the Nigerian soldiers have been recording casualties, increased terrorism, just like Nigeria has been, facing the same increased border terrorism in the last 1.5 years. Like, yeah, they might be using their media to suppress the story, the news and all that, but it's going on, it's happening. The report is that the terrorists in these West African countries are now more sophisticated than ever. And it is all because France, especially France, lost their cash cow. Do you know that France has been keeping the foreign reserve of these countries? Of course, I saw the news where Mali has now been reported to have paid off all their debts. But there is something I need you to know. If Mali paid any debt, I bet you it's not to France, because what they said was that the Malians, the Nigerians, the Burkina Faso, these 3 countries, especially these 3 countries, they are indebted to France. They are not supposed to be in any debt. Like I told you from the beginning, there are resources that are being stolen by France and French companies, being bought at ridiculous prices. The money is not even given to them directly. The money is paid to a bank in France. This was supposed to be their foreign reserve, their money. But guess what? Every time they want to make a withdrawal from it, they don't withdraw money to say, we are withdrawing from our bank account. No. Every time they make any attempt to withdraw money from that bank account, the money is loaned to them, which means they will pay back with resources. So immediately this coup happened, the countries, these 3 countries, they said, number one, France, in their sanction, right, they withheld their money. They said they won't give them all the money anymore. So these 3 countries also said, we're fine. We're also not going to pay any debt because we do not owe you any money anymore. So now they are selling their resources to countries like Russia, especially China. And China too, they are building infrastructures in this country. First time in their history that their partnership with, another country or all these supposed world powers is benefiting them infrastructurally, economically. It might take time for them to recover. So if they pay any debt at all, I promise you it is not to France, because immediately France withheld their money. They too told them, we are not paying any debt. We don't owe you any money. So keep all the money, keep all of that, and we are keeping our resources. Today, some of the French companies that you will still find in some of these countries, those are the ones who renegotiated what they told them was never possible. We cannot negotiate with you. That's the deal. But now they have to renegotiate. They have to pay the real price of the economic value of their resources now. Okay? And as for Russia and then China, they are building roads. They are building schools. They are building power stations. They are building things that France never built in 50 years of stealing from these people. So like I said, Thiefnubu has nothing to really offer them, except if they have to do what some of these Chinese are doing in Nigeria, stealing Nigerian resources, increasing terrorism in communities where resources, mineral resources are located. And if you look at the areas where you have the Fulani terrorists, where you have the Boko Haram and ISWAP and other terrorists in northern Nigeria, to be precise, these areas are areas where there are domiciled precious mineral resources hidden from the public, and the people in those communities have been chased away. And there are ongoing, illegal mining almost across Nigeria. So wherever you see terrorism in Nigeria, go on and do some geological research. There is a mineral resources in that community, in that local government area. And when you have seen people displaced, chased out of their farm, chased out of their communities, you realize that the weapons that are being used are the weapons from these terrorists from the Sahel. So the region is not experiencing any peace, but somehow, these countries, they are finding their bearing little by little. I mean, they are not expecting anything from the world. So if Thiefnubu is somehow still in bed with the imperialists, putting together plans, because they can be very patient. Yeah, it can take them years, but they can be very patient until they will get to whatever they want. They believe that. So Thiefnubu should be watched very closely. Everything happening inside that asshole rock or whatever they are signing, including people that are coming in and out of that place, you should pay attention. Because those who lost out from these West African countries, they are looking forward to Nigeria, which they believe have in abundance what they must have lost in these areas. So if they say, what is Thiefnubu doing? All this cultural exchange, youth leadership exchange, all this nonsense, these are just on the paper. The real thing is, number one, France. If France actually love Africa this much, if America love Africa, this West African this much, they would have helped us to end the Janjaweed terrorism, which has killed over 66,000 Nigerians in the last 10 years alone, and displaced over 10 million Nigerians in the last 10 years alone. And I'm not talking about all these other West African countries, what they have lost. So if these guys actually love us this much, they will use all their expertise, their military, to save us from these terrorists who are ransacking these regions. But they won't do it. Because the bottom line is, if they try that, we are likely going to be economically viable. We are likely going to force them to pay the real price for what they are stealing from Africa. And that is a no-no. It is going to bankrupt them in Europe. And they won't do that. And this is part of what we are saying, that the resources is there. You know you need Africa. Why are you in these bloody, shady deals that will further impoverish Africans when you can actually come to the table, right? The resources are there. You need the resources. You need Africa. But pay the right price for these resources so that Africans, these West African countries, these rich African countries, can benefit genuinely from their own God-given resources. But that's not the deal. It is always exploitation, exploration that never benefits Africans. And there are already ready-made willing tools like Thiefnubu and gang who are ready, right? As long as they will benefit. The rest of us can go to places. And they don't care. The last time this guy was talking, well, not the last time though, one of those, is Bulaba moments. And the Chinese guy was listening. You remember this clip?
We are committed to critical steps to reduce methane emission by ensuring fly gas are flood gas are eliminated. There's a huge penalty for that. There's equally a huge incentive to do so. The measures that we're taking here is a welcome development, no doubt about that. And we are with the leadership of UAE for the commitment so far. We are consolidating on the gas export usage domestically and export for other countries. I can assure you that we will.
Africa is poor despite these rich resources that African have. Now, I think it was about 30 days ago, these same rich countries who are, they call something emission, that they want to cut down the something emission, right? By making sure that we are not burning our coals. They are doing this climate change and climate change that. Sure you get. But the industrialized world, in the amount of the amount of emission, right, that they are releasing into the atmosphere, right? When they were like, measuring them, Africa has almost nothing. Africa is contributing almost nothing to this their gas emission or whatever it's called. But industrialized world like America, China, including Europe, right, where they are using everything to generate energy, they are telling us not to tap into our own. And guess what? For Africa not to use their own energy, not to dabble into energy independence, right? They offered $300 billion in aid to Africa for the next decade. That will give you some money. You don't need to develop your coal. You don't need to extract your crude oil. You don't need, that stuff, right? Because of climate change or that. But they are burning a lot, industrializing, growing. Africa needs needs our own resources as well to become industrialized countries. But they are promising them handouts that they shouldn't develop their energy sector. No, don't develop it. We'll give you some money. Okay? For this climate change this and climate change that. All right? So that you can use that one to promote trade, to promote this, to support women, to support children, and the rest of that. They will give them in the next 10 years, they promise them $300 billion. But you see, those resources are being taken cheaply. So the next 10 years, Africa will lose more than $300 trillion to this developed world. Meanwhile, they said Africa can make more than, if this is retained in Africa, Africa can make more than $50 trillion, which will be enough to lift hundreds of millions of Africans out of poverty. Do you know the population of all Africans? Our population is put at over 1.4 billion. That's the population of Africa. That is almost the population of India, pretty much than the population of China. Don't even talk about Europe. They don't reach that. And we have the youngest population. Africa has the population of the youngest people in the world. Highest. Right? But they have been told that no. They shouldn't develop their own energy sector because it's going to affect the climate. And there are willing criminals leading Africa that are already calculating how much they are going to make from that aid being promised them. And the next generation of Africans will actually be born into poverty, and they will die in poverty too. This is the world we are. And we have those who I believe hated us so much, but they are the ones leading Africa, unfortunately. Let's move on. Earlier today, Thiefnubu's tax reform came up for debate again. And you know that the campaign against it is already gaining momentum because it is believed that the northern Nigeria is going to be the most affected with this Thiefnubu's tax reform. They are spending a lot of time to explain it to a lot of people that no, it's in your interest, it's keneko. It is not. In all sincerity, by the way, if rather than do tax reform, they go for the true federalism. True federalism is when whatever Zamfara has, let Zamfara develop it, okay, to take care of our own people in Zamfara. Whatever Bayelsa have, let Bayelsa develop it, all right, to take care of the people of Bayelsa. Same way, whatever Lagos has, let Lagos develop it to take care of people of Lagos. Let the Zamfara people stop depending on the money coming from, you know, the Niger Delta, and let everybody stop depending on one another. Just live according to your means. But Nigeria is a place where they will rob Peter to pay Paul. Okay? For example, I will use their VAT, for example. The way Nigeria is politically structured, Lagos is the richest state in Nigeria, and that is intentional. It's not because Lagos has done anything like unique to be the richest state. So no. Lagos is politically, strategically placed to be the richest state in Nigeria because of the ports, as well as being the former Federal Capital Territory of Nigeria, the ports, the airports, and then the improved infrastructure to some level. And while other areas have been intentionally, right, underdeveloped. Even if you want to attempt to, you will not be able to. Except for those ones who are like, we're constructing this road and constructing that road. Or we are constructing this airport that no plane will land in. So Lagos is the richest. So therefore, Lagos alone is generating over 227 billion naira of VAT a year. Majority of the companies that are operating across Nigeria, they have to have their headquarters in Lagos. Therefore, their tax return is paid to Lagos. And so many other things that contributes to that. So, if Lagos is contributing over 60 to 70% of the total generated VAT in Nigeria, and Zamfara is contributing less than 0.1%. It's not even 1%, 0.1%. So when it is time to share the money, Lagos State will take 15% of that money. Zamfara will collect 1,800% of what they contributed. Imo State will contribute 5% of the VAT, and Imo State will collect 1,400, 1,500 worth of what they contributed. So this is how they rob Peter to pay Paul, left, right, and center. So what Thiefnubu is now proposing, according to them, is going to be you will be paid a certain percentage of what you have contributed. For example, I think it's about 60%. So let's say Lagos State contributes 250 billion naira. So Lagos State will take more than 160 billion from that money. If Zamfara contributes 1%, and let's say the 1% is 200 million naira, they will give Zamfara 60% of that. Federal government will take 40. Similarly, what they take from Lagos. So they said if that happened, it won't be long before northern Nigeria will collapse. So they are now ganging up to say no to this bill. And somebody once said, the reason why you still have one Nigeria today is because of the sharing of money every month. The day that people have to live, or all these states have to live by the money they make, they said Nigeria will begin to break up from that moment on. So this argument, or from this background, some of the northern lawmakers, not all of them, some of them, they are using this argument of Thiefnubu's intention to impoverish them, even though they are telling them that it is in their own interest. It is not. There are so many things inside that tax reform. I'm using the VAT alone now. There are others where they are lying to people that if you are not making up to 800,000 naira every year, that your total salary in a year is not up to 800,000 naira, they won't tax your salary. How many people are actually earning 70,000 naira in Nigeria today? How many people? Because 70,000 naira a month is going to earn you 840,000 naira. So you get taxed. About 30% of that money will be taken from you. But if you are earning 50,000 naira every month, that is going to be 600,000 naira a year. They won't tax you. So because of them say, oh, you are free, they won't tax you. But there are other ways they will tax you too. I explained that the other day. So somehow, they are telling them that it is in their interest that they should support Thiefnubu's tax reform. But Ndume won't have any of that. Because without the general money they are taking from everywhere, sharing to them, it's just going to be a matter of time before northern Nigeria will go bankrupt and collapse. It's just a matter of time. So instead of tax reform, why not just promote it through federalism? I mean, that one is more direct. It's not deceitful. So it simply means every state will keep their own consumption tax, so all other taxes, so they can develop any means of taxing their people by themselves and live within their means, Abi. So today, between the standing Senate President, Yao and Ali Ndume, both from the northern Nigeria, this engagement happened. Please listen.
And I just take the last part of Order 38. That is order of the business. Mr. President, the order of the business says, number 10, that our business for the day will be based on the order paper. The order paper does not contain this. And for God's sake, this is a very, very, very important matter. We should not in any way try to use the position of the Senate, because the order paper is clear and we have been doing this. I have no problem having them to come here and explain whatever. We have been doing that, but we follow known procedures. And that is, if today this thing has to be taken, you now quickly ask for supplementary order paper that will reflect this. And as you said, this is a very, very important matter. It is not a matter that you just come and tell us after we are doing business of the day. Mr. President, you can have your way, but I will have my say. You will have your way, but I can have my say. You can use the gavel, and I will use my voice. This thing is very sensitive. Our people have been dominated by this matter. When you say it's matter of urgent national importance, yes, we do have matters of urgent national importance. But even those matters normally is referred to the next legislative date or another legislative date. Please, I beg you in the name of God, in the name of God, this matter is very, very important to not only us, but Nigerians that we represent. And we swear by Bible and Holy Quran that will represent the interests of the people. These people partially have spoken. The governors, the National Economic Council, and that makes
you have made your point. Can I respond to you?
You can rule me out of order.
Let me respond. Let me respond to you. Now, please, we are not here for rhetorics. We are acting on fact. Excuse me. Order, please. Order, please. Order, please. Order, please. Order. Please.
You, because you are sitting there saying saying it's written.
I know.
Are you saying, Mr. President, that a Senate?
No, leave me. Allow him. Wait a minute.
Is that fair to yourself? Now rule me out of order.
Okay, thank you very much. We're giving you a chance to speak. Please, I refer you to order 1B, which the leader came under. Can you read order 1B for me, please? Can you read order 1B? Okay. Order 1B read as follows. In all cases not provided for in this standing order, or by sessional or other orders or practice of the Senate shall by resolution regulate its procedure. This is what we have just done. This is the resolution that we have just passed. You needed to have known what we have done. I therefore rule you out of order.
So they sent in Thiefnubu's taxman, Zack Adedeji. Zack Adedeji is the FIRS boss. They sent him to the National Assembly. They've been there for the past few days, mesmerizing. They are doing what is called the public hearing on the tax bill of Thiefnubu. So the public hearing has had the Wale Idun, Zack Adedeji, Kadobi, and so many other useless human beings working for Thiefnubu. They've had them at the National Assembly committee discussing this bill, right? In the last few days. So now the Senate now invited Zack Adedeji to come and address the senators the importance of this bill. That was what made Ndume to rise and then objected. Well, it's a done deal. Thiefnubu has already cleared these guys. There are northerners that will collect their own rubber and they will vote yes. That Thiefnubu's tax reform that they are lying to you about and making you think is one very solid. You see, for me, who is from the southern part of Nigeria, normally I'm going to say it's a great deal. Sure you get, like, but the reason why I won't say it's a great deal is because of Thiefnubu. He cannot be trusted. You understand? The reason why he is doing this is not because he wanted people who are paying that consumption taxes and all of you, they will tax for that money, because southern Nigeria is where you actually have a lot of people working in Nigeria. Sure you get now. So you will be the one to be taxed. But the reason why Thiefnubu is doing it is because eventually they are going to give the job of collecting the tax to consultants just like they did in Lagos, Alpha, Beta, and Co. And then they will take their cuts. Okay? Collecting these taxes on behalf of states so that they can collect their own cuts, like the Alpha, Beta is doing. But in the long run, right, it simply means the money they are making from southern Nigeria will no longer be shared to northern Nigeria. So I can say it is a great one, but when you look at it very well, it is not. So I would rather push for what is called the normal thing, like true federalism or the total regional control, resource control, or the breakup of the entire contraption. This one is more pronounced. It's much, much clearer than the dubious tax reform, which is, the backdoor way, all right, of enriching Thiefnubu and his gang. And it will look good to those of you from southern Nigeria. To an average northerner, if you pay attention very well, it is your doom. It is. No matter how much they try to sugarcoat it, no matter how much they are trying to finance you, right, it will spell the doom of northern Nigeria. Did I hear somebody say karma? Karma is a bitch, right? That person is a southerner. If anybody says this is karma for the northern Nigeria, you might be right, because karma is a bitch. This is going to spell doom for the northerners, because they have been so used that Nigeria, Nigeria was built in a way that rather than earn through the merit means, like merit-based system, no, it is about quota system. And that is why the northerners continue to brag about their number. The number which can elect anybody. Their number, they have the highest population. They have this But the population is not productive, okay, to earn the northerners the revenue that will make the north better or independent, okay? The population of the north is like a curse to Nigeria, especially southern Nigeria. You know that rhetoric of the poor husband and the rich wife in Nigeria is a very popular saying. The poor husband, irresponsible, wretched husband is the north. The rich wife, the rich wives are just the middle belters and the southerners, the entire south. So this Sharia north, where they brag about having this massive population to determine anybody that will be president, most of it in particular is actually exaggerated though. But because of the way Nigeria is set up, it is believed that if the north says no, nobody can say yes. So the population that they brag about is not a productive population. It's not a population that actually add any meaningful thing to Nigeria economy. It is the one that drains Nigeria. So with Thiefnubu's tax reform, it is going to expose the north. And the poverty they are witnessing in northern Nigeria right now will be a child's play when this whole thing is completed. So the reason why they are telling them that it is in their own interest is because they are so poor that probably 90% of them will never be taxed directly as earning over 800,000 naira. So why are you angry? It's in your own interest now. We are not going to tax your people now. They are very poor anyway, so, don't worry. And we are also going to give them a stipend. We'll give them some money every month, 5,000 naira. So don't worry yourself about this tax thing. Now, the southerners are supposed to be very much like angry. But the northerners know why they are not happy. If this should happen, the Alimajirin sin that you have in northern Nigeria is going to be a child's play to what is still to happen. You get that? And there is an advantage there for the Easterners to be precise. Because right now, if they push their tax reform, which means you can also push for your own Seaport this time around, I'm just saying, I mean, the criminal politicians from the eastern part of Nigeria, as we speak, maybe that too will expose them too. So it could be a good thing, win-win, but the northern Nigeria will face the worst of it. And that is why they are doing their best to see if they can use their number to stop Thiefnubu's tax reform. The same reason why they do not support true federalism. The same reason why they will not support resource control. The same reason they will never support regional system is because if any of this should come to be, sharing formula will change. Do you understand? Sharing formula will change. It will actually almost stop. And if that should happen, they will lose control of their people in northern Nigeria. The poverty will not go be here. But with Thiefnubu, whatever money cannot do, more money will do it. They are already moving money, paying some of these criminal northern politicians. And they are going to vote yes before they will now possibly see that, what have we done? Yay, what have we done to ourselves? I can't wait to see that happen. All right? But yesterday I told you about this lady. Please pray for this lady. I found another clip of her talking about the Fulani terrorism against the Hausas. I am saying it again this evening. Protect this girl.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala barakatuhu. My name is Hasia Aminu. I'm from northern part of Nigeria. I'm Hausa by tribe. I'm here to address one issues that are going on in northern part of Nigeria between the Hausas and the Fulanis. We don't know what we did to the Fulanis. They are killing our brothers and sisters, the Hausa people, in our own fatherland. So I'm tired. I'm tired. Because we cannot be hiding under religion or anything that has to do with modesty, means kawaiti in Hausa language. We don't show the world what is going on. And the same people, they are saying that we are the same, that we are Hausa Fulani. How comes Hausa language is different language? Fulani language is different language. We aren't the same. Because even God that created us, He has already chosen every language that have to do with everybody that will speak the language. Whether if you are Hausa or Yoruba, any other tribe in Nigeria, you speak your own language. God has already created us, differentiate us. That wasn't enough. There are now all our leaders in northern part of Nigeria, even the Emir Palace belongs to the Fulanis. Is there any land in Hausa land that belongs to Fulani? They are not Hausas. So why are they ruling us? Well, their people are killing us. They are not even telling the world what is going on, and they are not taking action about it. Before you know, they will say Islam. Islam gave them the right to kill Hausa people. Even the jihad, they said that Usman Afodio did jihad. He made Hausa land with Islam, and all the emirs he killed, they are
Protect our, my dear Hausas, the Generation Alpha, they are here. They are on TikTok, and they are also on Facebook. They are reading their history. Today, you don't need to go to library. You don't need massive book to read your history anymore. They are on internet, PDF. You can download and read your history. There are so many documentaries now that these younger people, because they are wondering, how can you say we are the same and you are killing us? How can we claim to be the same and you are kidnapping us? You are destroying our villages. You are destroying our communities. You are saying we are Hausa Fulani, Hausa Fulani. How can we be Hausa Fulani and the only people that are being killed are the Hausas by the Fulanis? They are asking questions. And they are telling you that we are not the same. True, we are not the same. Until 1807, I believe, there was nothing called the Fulanis in Nigeria, today's Nigeria. But the Hausas have suffered. The other tribes in this northern Nigeria, they have suffered in the hands of the murderous Fulanis. Despite the fact that they are controlling them, they are ruling over them, these children are now asking questions. Why are they ruling over us? We don't speak the same language. We don't have anything in common. How did they lie to us this long to make us believe that we are the same? But we are not. They are asking questions. And there are many of them asking questions. And it will all start from asking questions. The questions they don't want anybody to ask. Because they want to make you believe that you are the same. No, we are not. The people that forced us together in this contraption, they know that we are not. Culturally, traditionally, and even our language, we are not. That is why it will never work. That is why it is not working. That is why it will never work. So the people needed to be asked if they still want to be part of this contraption. So they must be allowed to table their terms and conditions of why they still want to be together in this contraption. It is a must. And I am happy that we are having a generation across board, from the north to the east, from the west to the central, and to every part of that contraption, generation that will ask questions, generations that will not continue to repeat the lie, because it is unbelievable that people that are supposed to be one, the same, are killing themselves. Supremacy battle among people that are supposed to be one country. It's unbelievable. If the elders don't want to answer the questions, the younger ones will find the answers eventually. And when they do, it's just going to be a matter of time before this whole contraption will kind of like break up. We are getting there. The social media, internet, we do what the history they removed from your schools and all that. The internet will teach a generation that we understand that this is a lie taken too far. Even those who forced this contraption together never believed that it's going to last this long. And those who fought to keep it together by force are already expiring. They are dying one by one. So a generation that will not be interested in keeping this contraption together, they are here already. And you are going to hear from them. You will. We are going to hear from them. We are one Nigeria, one Nigeria. The lie is expiring. And I hope you live long enough to witness the implosion. I want to live long enough to see it too. It's going to happen faster than you can imagine. Just be patient. The lies don't hold water that much anymore, except for the older generation that are so afraid to let go. Nigeria is our country. It's our only country. Instead of us to come together, you and we come together to do what? To preserve it for those who are going to kill us. Because their orientation says this was supposed to be the estate of their forefathers. Uthman Dan Fodio that died from the arrow of the Berums and the Jokuns, the TVs, the terrorists that couldn't break the middle belt of Nigeria, who died miserably. But he's been eulogized by other terrorists who claims to have his blood. And therefore, you and I are just living on a borrowed land, according to them. So who and you is coming together? The generation that is going to actually show to all of us that a lie can travel for a while, but the day, the truth stands and moves and then begin its journey, is the day is going to catch up with it. We are almost there. We are almost there. And also, the reactions of the Ronukus after Sanwo-Iku sacked one of them, Redwane, Wale, Aje Tumobi, what's be that Mofo's name? So they were asking Sanwo-Iku not to, they said Sanwo-Iku should return him. This Olori Bruku Dipo lives in London. And according to him, he said, the guy who confessed that how they killed NSAS protesters, allegedly because they burned down PVC with no evidence. So they tracked them down and they executed them. So this guy who lives in London, a Chief Ronuku, a Ronu Nazi, said that Sanwo-Iku should reinstate him because this guy stood by him. Another one called Ishula Alu Ogirioko said Thiefnubu na son of Igbo woman. And that all Ronukus generally should pay attention to these guys, Thiefnubu's descendant, Thiefnubu's disciples. They said that once Thiefnubu is dead, there's no chance that they will be able to sustain their bigotry anymore. Sadisu has something to say about that.
It's unfortunate for this young man. I honestly don't think that he meant it that way. Otherwise, if it was true that he meant it that way, then he shouldn't be on the streets. Or what do you think?
I'd like to know how the information management system amongst the governor's team, how it was, because something must have leaked to him. Somebody must have, because they shared.
Do you think it is true?
I don't know. I don't think it is true. I don't think that he made a mistake.
No, look, listen.
He knows exactly what executed means. He knows exactly what prosecuted means. He knows.
Are you saying that this full-grown gentleman doesn't know the
he knows
of
what
executed?
He knows what he wrote. I am 100% sure.
No, you can't be. You must give allowance for.
I am 100% sure that he knows. He knows something. It should be questioned.
No, are you saying that? Are you saying because the word here is executed?
That is what he wrote.
And so
it wasn't a mistake.
So you are now thinking that some people could have been executed?
Are you asking me that one? I'm saying that is what he wrote. I'm not thinking anything.
No, because if you're saying that you think that that is what has happened, then we have a serious problem on our hands.
So I'm saying that if he wrote that, then there is need for investigation. He needs to be picked up like right now, like yesterday, like, you know.
Right, it doesn't need to be picked up. He can be investigated.
No, he needs to be picked up.
He can be invited.
Because he can disappear. He can run. He can no. Because you can't put out such an information and believe that insurance cover it.
Because you see, if actually that what he said is true, which I honestly believe, I think he was playing with words.
Really? Okay.
Some people don't know the use of language. You know, I usually always alert people that be very careful with sarcasm. Be very careful with innuendo. I believe that I don't want to believe that this man that there was an execution, because then you now be accusing certain persons in government of murder. Yes. So, and I don't believe that if there was really murder and he works for the government, he would then be saying that are you telling me he wouldn't know? No, I don't. I think he was trying. It's unfortunate for this young man.
Baba Disu, ever been Noah, Amoje, he knows what he wrote. They killed people. Okay? According to him, the full story of people who burned down TVC in 2020 will be told one day with gory clips and images. One thing to note, majority of them have been hunted down and executed. One of them, a young boy trading in cooking gas around Ketu, was found with AK-47 at the site. That's what he said. And somebody said, what do you mean hunted down and executed? Are you in the know of extrajudicial killings? Ajetumobi responded, lol. He laughed. You want to create a narrative in your head. What is extrajudicial killing here? Question mark. Some of the people were chased by soldiers. An exchange of fire occurred. Then arsonists were overpowered and killed in the process. Others ran away. Is that an extrajudicial killing to you? There is no record anywhere where people exchange gunfire during the NSAS protest with the Nigerian army. Nowhere. So I'm happening, wow, I'm a jail. Don't try to kind of like, And that's why some of them are angry. That's why this Olori Buruku Dipo said he made an error of judgment. But we cannot deny that he has been a strong pillar of Governor Thiefnubu, Governor Sanwo-Iku media team since his appointment. And then he said he has repeatedly pushed back on IPOB propaganda. Waiting concern IPOB propaganda in Lagos. Waiting concern IPOB in Lagos. And defended Lagos state government and its official when they get abused by political thugs. Like, what is IPOB doing in this conversation? For somebody who lives in London. So I heard that he's been arrested. I don't know how true that is. The guy is from originally from Kwara State. The Olori Buruku Apayan is not from Lagos State. But there were those who were calling Badebo IPOB. They are the ones calling Badebo Omoibo. And Badebo's family, who are Lagosians, the current city hall in Lagos, the land where the city hall is built is Badebo family's land in Lagos. But this Olori Buruku Apayan of Sanwo-Iku's clan, they continue to refer to him as Omoibo, that should go to Anambra if he wants to be governor. So they have hunted people down, killed people, all because of Thiefnubu's TVC. So nobody should try to twist it. Now they are now saying that since Sanwo-Iku sacked him, Sanwo-Iku is now the son of an Igbo woman. As if to say it is actually a wrong thing to be the son or daughter of an Igbo woman in Yoruba land. Thiefnubu's son, Sheyi, his wife is from Anambra State, which means his children, they are half Yoruba, half Igbo. Is that a slaw? Is that like a crime? Because of these Ronukus who are not from Lagos. So these Olori Burukus are not from Lagos. So but they are spreading this hatred, this tribal bigotry, easily on behalf of Thiefnubu and Sanwo-Iku, and they have succeeded in exposing something. So nobody should feed us with any other narrative. He knows what he said, and they know what they did as well. This is an announcement to those of you who want to possibly go into business. Since it is now obvious that since we now know that the Port Harcourt refinery is a scam, and also that it is not going to be cheap for any of you who have been saying, why is Nigeria not having refinery? Why is Nigeria not having its own refinery? Now, you have your own refinery, but it is more expensive than Dangote. So Dangote is now doing promo. Buy 2 million liters at 970. Call for inquiries. Princess, that's the number to call. Oh. You know, you are into petroleum and all of that. Oh, eh? Call this number. Tell them you want to buy 2 million liters. And they will sell it to you for 970. And you can resell it for... you can resell it for 1,000 naira and gain 30 naira on each liter. NNPC is selling their own for 1,045 naira. Business lele yo for everybody. Yo. Remember when I said that a day is coming, Dangote will carry his refinery for head and begin to say, "Era refinery, yo. Only refinery in today, yo. Era refinery, yo." I think we said that on this platform before. That when Thiefnubu is done with Dangote, he is going to actually sell that refinery in Banjo. Come and buy your refinery. Please help me share this refinery for sale. My customer may be on your timeline. That is always on Twitter. Please don't pass this my post without sharing. My customer will be on your wall. Now last now so Dangote go post his refinery for sale on Twitter one day. And say what a refinery when Thiefnubu is done with him. So now they are doing promo. Again, if you need to type the number down, type it down. No. Or if you want to sell, send email to Dangote. Instead of going to buy from NNPC Port Harcourt for 1,045 naira, go to Dangote, they go sell you. If you buy 2 million liters, they go sell them for you for 970. Promo. If they explain Nigeria to you and you understand it, they know explain them well. Because when they explain it to you and you say you understand and you are not mad, angry, they know explain them well to you. It's unbelievable. It is a logic, like it's a place that defies all logic. As something works somewhere, it gets to Nigeria, you think say it go work. You go learn in hard way. Here is Ikenga, right? In fact, before we go to Ikenga, here is some group of guys talking about the Nigerian judiciary, talking about the judicial bandits, where it is always cash and carry for the highest bidder in their own views, how they believe this can possibly be curtailed or fixed. Please listen.
Let me say that the issue of conflicting or inconsistent judgments is a source of worry to every person. And allegations against judicial officers are taken seriously. And the NJC puts them through a process of investigation and hearing to determine their culpability or otherwise, and met out appropriate punishments. Now, the disciplinary process in the legal profession has that for judicial officers, which is handled by the NJC and the Freedom, for all judicial officers. And for lawyers, it is the Legal Practitioners Disciplinary Committee. And that process is not self-executing. It needs petition by people like you, who may feel that lawyer A has done A or B. And if you write such petition, the LPDC takes it seriously and investigates it. And when there's a prima facie case found against the lawyer, he goes through hearing. It may well be that NJC hearings and the outcome of their hearings get more publicity than that before the LPDC. But I assure you, the LPDC entertains disciplinary cases against more disciplinary cases against lawyers than NJC entertains against judges. So don't go thinking that lawyers can behave anyhow and go. Indeed, one of the bedrocks of the profession is his ability to discipline his errant members, and we take it serious because the public will not regard us much if we don't show capacity to weed out bad eggs amongst us, to show that their complaints will be entertained, looked into, and appropriate steps taken. But then again, a judge writing conflicting judgments has nothing to do with a lawyer. But a lawyer bringing a case which has no business in court, or maybe trying to corrupt a judge, is a different thing. And a judge, while a lawyer cannot be held responsible for the quality of judgment written by a judge, a lawyer may be held responsible for the type of action he brings to court or what he does or fails to do to get a favorable judgment. So we can't be held responsible for a conflicting judgment. But if a lawyer has done something untoward in instituting an action or in procuring judgment, if I may use that word, like attempting to give bribe or actually giving bribe or inducing the judge one way or the other or sending people to influence it, the lawyer may be held responsible. So the simple answer is that the disciplinary process in the legal profession works against both judges, judicial officers, and lawyers, and we take it very seriously because we must maintain the nobility of the profession by ensuring that those who have no business being there are properly punished. Thank you. NJC, and I know that the judge, you said is a senior judge, has written a petition to the NJC on issue.
We think that that's actually how it works, but it is not. Not that people are not doing their best to probably, fix things up, but it's just that it is always one step forward and then 100 backward. It's a rotten system. One of them is the role where Wike is playing in this same judiciary. And according to Ikenga, his days are numbered, right? The oppositions are coming together to make sure that, they free Nigeria from the stranglehold of Wike, Thiefnubu, and others, because all the problems they are facing, they are orchestrated by Thiefnubu's, machineries and all that. So Ikenga is a talker. So maybe I should play you this. Listen.
Should we bury our court because of Wike? Should we? Should we destroy everything that our founding fathers gave us sacred because of him? Today, these things are not something that is confusing. We ran a presidential primary, right? He campaigned. What happened in Eagle Square? Did Atiku not defeat him? Atiku defeated him, right? Is that something that is difficult for our elders to look him in the face and say, stop this nonsense? Nobody hurts you. You ran a primary on the Eagle Square venue, you are defeated when Tambuwa made an alliance with Atiku. And you vowed to destroy the party. He wanted to be VP. So I ask you people, if they have made him VP, will he be talking about Nyendebe, justice, equity, and fairness? You can see the character of people who are disturbing the peace of the nation. He begged for the VP, lobbied for the VP, campaigned for the VP. But for whatever reason, which now, I believe those who did not choose him have been vindicated because of his character. They didn't choose him. Now he vowed to destroy the party, carrying some people he called G5. All of them, he lost his Senate and the PDP. Is he a lie? What happened to Otomi in Benue? He lost the Senate and lost the governorship. The Reverend Father is trying to clear the mess he left there. Oti is trying to clear the mess the other one left in Abia. They all lost. Ugwanye lost his Senate. Is he a lie? Mba struggled to win his election. If not, Ugwanye would have even brought that bad luck to him. But today, they are so proud of destroying what our founding fathers gave to us, and people are keeping quiet. You were defeated in a primary. Every time one trouble or the other. Who supported Alimo the Sheriff to be our chairman against the decision of most parents? Is it not Wike? Who went after him and said he wants to remove him? The same Wike. So because when he said he has suffered for PDP, I say, holy dear, suffered for who? You cleared the mess you created for by yourself. He was the one who went and brought Uche Secondus. Is it not Wike? Who went to Degama to obtain an injunction in the night against him? Is it not Wike? Who went to to go and bring Ayu. Who was praising him? When he lost the primary, what happened? Them and Oton went to Benue and obtained an injunction to remove Ayu. So how did he help us? Fermenting trouble in every state chapter of our party. How did he help us? Quarreling with everybody. He will quarrel with those who pulled him out to make him a local government chairman. He will not be in good terms with Asutan Bata. Is it our fault? He will not be in good terms with Amechi. Is it our fault? Those who failed him at one time or the other. He will be at fault and be insulting a revenge justice of the Supreme Court, Mary Odile and his husband. Is it our fault?
We are so proud of you, Ikenga. We are so proud of you, ayo, ayo. We are so proud of you. We are so proud of you, ayo, ayo. We are so proud of you. We are so proud of you, ayo, ayo. We are so proud of you. We are so proud of you, ayo, ayo.
Today, anybody that does not agree with him, he is fighting him. One man. Crisis upon crisis. But if our elders cannot tell him the truth, we will tell him the truth that we have had enough of you. Nigerians have had enough of you. And PDP and the opposition will rise. It will be a decisive battle. But I can tell you that all forces are mobilizing and there will be an end to this nonsense.
Karigo, Ikenga Imo, Karigo, Ugochinyere, Karigo, Ugochinyere, Karigo, Ugochinyere, Karigo, Ugochinyere, Karigo.
Today they ask, what is the connection between our struggle for a new, reformed, and disciplined PDP and Rivers? I said, because Rivers is an integral part of our party. Is he a lie? He's aiming for the...
How many times would they tell you before you know that Nigeria is not for you? Ah! Now they never leave you. They have left you behind. Photo, not be juju be that.
Karigo, Ikenga Imo, Karigo, Ikenga Imo, Karigo. With a Wike and his 40-year-old whiskey, the main troublemaker. Yeah? So, Ikenga and others are like a gathering people of like minds in order to face what is called with a Wike's shenanigans. And they strongly believe that they are coming out stronger against Koolu when in truest sense of it. Even in that gathering, Koolu has people that he planted there who are also joining them to say, Karigo, Ikenga Imo, Karigo. He's talking, oh, that's one thing I will give to him. Ikenga, he knows how to talk whenever he wants to talk. But listen to the rest from that same gathering.
He produced all the House of Assembly. He produced the principal officers. The governor didn't have any single input. He has all the local government chairmen. Is he a lie? He produced the party structure. He produced the SSG, the chief of staff, name it. The special advisor he produced. All the projects he awarded. Was there any issue? It's only a man who is at war with his inner soul that can have problem with Fubara, despite all that you have hijacked. The company that was running the revenue was still the company that was doing it when he was there. But he still quarreled with the man and wanted to impeach him, somebody who did not do anything. But as God will have it, desperation has its consequences. They went and told them in Abuja that if they come to APC, they will support them to impeach the man. You were there when the 27 lawmakers joined APC. Is he a lie? But today, you have joined APC when there was no division in PDP. Is he a lie? Your seat has become vacant. Is he a lie? Now they are running from one court to another, trying to cover something all of you saw on TV and have the record, trying to embarrass and bastardize the judiciary to affirm that those who are no longer lawmakers are lawmakers. Are we going to change our law and our judicial institution because of Wike? Are we? And is it threat? Are we?
Ogade your day, make I day my day. Ogade your day, oh. Nobody worry, nobody. Day your day, make I day my day. Day your day, oh. Nobody worry, nobody.
Now his new fancy is that he wants to seize their location. See somebody who says he's from Rivers. He wants to seize the allocation of Rivers so that teachers and workers will not be paid salary, so that security and everything will collapse in that state. He wants the court to affirm that lawmakers who left the party and their seats have been declared vacant should be reinstated so that they can make an attempt to impeach the governor. Every particular thing he's running from one court to another, obtaining a party injunction. All those plots will fail in Jesus' name.
You think you can seize allocation? It's a lie. Allocation. It's a lie. Allocation. It's a lie. You can seize allocation. It's a lie. Allocation. It's a lie. Seize allocation. It's a lie. It's a lie. It's a lie. A very big lie. It's a lie. It's a lie. Destroy our nation. It's a lie. It's a lie. You cannot destroy us. It's a lie. It's a lie. It's a lie. Ice. What?
The Supreme Court has heard statutory allocation is the symbol of federation and constitutional governance. It's not the budget of a state. It's a statutory revenue, a share from the federation revenue, not federal government revenue, that makes you part of the constituting unit. You can't stop it. That would be an invitation to constitutional anarchy. Imagine when court starts stopping statutory allocation. What the federal government will be doing to some state governors in future. Once you go and obtain an injunction, the allocation of a state is seized. Is that not an invitation to anarchy?
Ikenga honey rogi gatutu kong. Honey rogi gatutu kong. Honey rogi gatutu kong. Honey rogi gatutu kong. Ikenga honey rogi gatutu kong. Honey rogi gatutu kong. Honey rogi gatutu kong. Honey rogi gatutu kong.
If you seize an allocation of a state, can you guarantee security and lives and property of that place? Can you guarantee what will happen in that place? That place is housing one of our country's biggest oil installations. Can you guarantee its safety when there is anarchy and disorder? When the state doesn't have money to run? There's a difference between statutory federating unit revenue and the budget of a state. It's when the money comes from Abuja, it goes into the state before they can appropriate. Now you're going to court to get another to seize it without dealing with the issue. And what is the issue? That the lawmakers have left the PDP at the time there was no division, and they have lost their seat. And what is left in that House of Assembly, the remaining 4 lawmakers forms a quorum. The Supreme Court have heard it in the Pialong's case in Plateau State. When the seat of those lawmakers were declared vacant, Supreme Court said the remaining number forms quorum until by-election. So instead of discussing on the issue of their legality, you are rushing to say that the allocation should be seized. You are not doing the work of the House. If the government is not running with the budget, it is the duty of the House of Assembly to impeach him or remove him. But in this case, those 27 are no longer members of the House of Assembly. So why are you trying to, through the back door, to legislate? To not think that if you seize the allocation, you will force the governor to recommend.
You know, it's about how to stop werey Wike using his overbearing actions. And in fact, he's attempted to use the judiciary to further push his own agenda, illegitimate agenda, and punish the people of Rivers State is the cardinal motivation for their coming together, the opposition. He said more, but we do not have all the time this evening. As for the workers in River State, there's a clip of them dancing that even though the rest of the country is yet to actually start paying the minimum wage, Ubara seems to have paid it too. They received their alert today, 85,000 naira minimum wage, effective immediately. And this was their reaction. See, people of River State, right? It seems that composing songs is so convenient for them, or was that just me? That they can turn anything into a song, right? If you listen to that guy singing at Ikenga's gathering, it was practically just turning everything into a song, right? You cannot take our allocation, like you cannot take our allocation. Like, I mean, come on, it's pretty much so smooth. But we are going to round it up, stopping by in Lagos. I'm sorry that it is Wahab that takes us to Lagos again. This time around, they were after those who are selling on the supposed drainages in Lagos, the mega city.
Oh yeah, come on, hey. Madam, pack your market. Remove your market. Take your market away. Take your market away. Ẹ lọ kọ́ ọ̀bẹ láì sínú mọ́tò. Ó yá. Break.
That's from Lagos. The highlight of it is a vendor that got caught on a bridge.
Yeah, they remove her.
Go this way.
Carry your head up. Yeah. Put her back. Put her back on.
And all of that from Lagos, the mega city of Nigeria. Anyway, thank you so much, everyone, again, for your time. And just before we continue, we have the next 15 minutes to have a quick chat with the sponsor of a session on the Mayegun's Diary Political, the Yaro Solola's Digital. To all of us who have checked out the web, or let me say the link, if you have scanned the QPR of of this business, which I have been promoting for a while, we've had members of the platform who have not only just checked it out, they've actually signed up to see what this truly entails. So I have in the studio with me, like they've joined us right now, the lady who is the face behind the Yarosula's Digital. I'm trying to see if our camera is up. We have an issue with that as we speak. And I also have a witness, a member of this platform who has not just only signed up to check this out, they've actually taken it further by starting their own business on the same platform as we speak. So I have them in the background, and I'm going to bring them on just to ask them 1, 2, 3 questions about this. And to the rest of you also have a lot of questions to ask. You may have that shot as well. And how do you go about it? So here, let's see. I think that's Ajia, right? So Ajia Olajire, as well as Sa Adeleke Ogunbiji, Now you see the Yarosulula's digital, as you can see on your screen, is the brain behind this advert and the business itself. Good evening, ma. How are you?
Good evening, Mayegu. I'm fine, thank you.
Glad.
Are you?
I'm very well, thank you, ma. And how are you, sir? It's good to see your face.
Good evening, sir. How are you doing?
I am very well, sir. Thank you so much for asking. So I'm not really going to take much of your time this evening, all right? A lot of people have been asking questions, and I tend to want you to possibly just answer some of them. They are like direct questions, okay? One of the questions I've been asked repeatedly is the fact that this digital, marketing or digital business idea, like who and who is this meant for, if you may ask? Okay. Ajia.
Right. Thank you, Mayegu. Thank you, everybody. Good evening, all. Yeah, digital business is for any age from 18 and above. There is a step-by-step training program that is ideal for all age. And they have 24/7 online, which is accessible 24/7 for anybody that can join, as long as you are coachable, you are willing to learn new things and implement it. There is a monthly coaching meeting for all members. There is weekly a webinar where they do question and answer. You got access to about 250 members of the community that if you need any help, you can access anybody. You can choose to have, you are assigned a mentor, you are assigned a coach. You can choose to have an accountability partner. You're going to be encouraging each other along the way. Or if you have problem, you just have somebody that you are encouraging each other, apart from all the other network, all the support that is available. That one is there as well. Like I said, there are about 250 members in the community, and is consists of all ethnic background, religion, name it. You just need to come in and see it. It's a beautiful and supportive community.
Right. My supposed, sorry, ma'am, that my supposed first question is this. You see, I keep telling people that this is not a get rich quick business idea. It's like you said, it's actually be willing to be trained, okay? Which means you must have the what do you call it? The intention to want to learn something new, so to say, right? So if I may ask, right, what does this business opportunity truly requires? Because I have told people severally that they needed this $149 to sign up, which, true to it, if anyone changes his mind, he can always cut it off and they will get their money back and all that, okay? If you want to say to us in a straightforward term, right? So what would you say, this business opportunity actually requires in joining?
To join in, it requires you to have, if you have a laptop and a phone, and $149 as a one-off access fee, which is, like you said, is refundable within 30 days. After they show you all the business model and the strategies, and you think it's not for you, you can ask for your money back. Within 2 days, they pay you your money back. You have to have, you'll be willing to actually work. Like you said, it's not a get rich quick. And relatively, I think I will say quote and unquote, because I've seen people joining the business and they have their life changed within 6 months that they retire from their work. As long as you are ready to put in the work, is work smart, not work hard. Yeah, they've got a system in a place that 90% of the work is already done. All you need, the 10%, you just need to have right mindset, because if you don't have the right mindset, obviously you won't be able to put in the necessary effort to achieve whatever it, or put in the necessary effort to achieve your goal. So as long as you are willing and you are coachable, the business is fantastic. You just need to come in and say it.
Right. And finally, my final question, right, is the fact that we have, I think the spirit, that probably has already answered itself. It's the spirit of, willingness to want to achieve, which is to excel. So my question initially would have been, what does it take to excel in this?
Yeah, like I said, to excel in it, the business model and the system, the automated system is 90% already completed for you. You just come in and put that 10% serious-minded and positive mindset. As long as you are coachable, you put in the effort and you're going to see the result. So
maybe I should just speak to the the two available members who are on it right now. So
if I can,
yes, sir.
If I can add to what she said.
All right, quickly.
It is not just you. You must know the reason why you want to go into this business.
Right.
You having your $149, having your laptop, one other thing, you must have the time for it. Not just the time, you must also have it in mind. Why do I want to go into this business? What is driving me to go into this business? What am I lacking that I want to get from this business? Those are the things you need to get in hand before you go into this business.
Now, I'm actually going to direct my question to you then, okay? You see, when I signed up for it, I wanted to know what this is all about, okay? And I got to a stage where I had a phone in sort of an appointment with someone who has been a digital marketer themselves. So one thing is that you would have your own personal website where your content of sale is displayed, and where you can actually not only that you are owning your business, you are keeping stock of your outflow and your inflow overall. So you have joined, and I think you joined based on the advert on this platform. So what has been your experience so far, personally?
My experience personally, like every other business, initially it is not rosy. We must have that in mind. It is not easy. Like me, I'm not a social media person. Before I could agree to come to your platform to do this, it took me some time because I'm not a social media. I don't like showing my face on camera. But I had to leave that shell that I've built myself in. I have to say, okay, I have to be putting my face out there, because when you are placing your adverts, your face needs to be there. People need to see you to know that they are dealing with an actual human being, not a robot. So you have to always be there. That has been one challenge for me. The other challenge is when we are doing our advert, there are some process according to our training that you need to follow. You need to first know, we call it the hook, where you ask people what is their problem. You need to introduce yourself. You need to tell people about the problem you've gone through in life, your own personal life story. You need to tell people or introduce the business you found out, like I found out in your platform. You need to introduce it to them. You need to tell them the solution. So these are the process you need to follow. Those are my challenges. Since I'm new into it, barely 3 weeks or a month now, I'm having that challenge is to go through that process, because they say with time comes perfection. So I'm still learning, and I'm still going through my training. I've not even finished. I've not gone through half of my training yet. I'm still going through the training. So those are the challenges. And it will get to a point whereby you will ask yourself this question: can I make this? Can I be successful in this? So it now comes to the reason why you entered into this business initially. Why did you enter? Do you want to be clear of we all have household debt or credit card debt? Do you want to clear all those? Do you want to, if those that are on mortgage, do you want to clear off your mortgage? Do you want to buy your own houses, own more houses? So those are the things that will drive you to overcome those challenges.
Can I just clear something there?
Quickly.
Yeah, I know Endurance is talking about challenges of social media. Obviously, there are other, I think you are still going through your training. That's why there are other ways you can actually do your advert.
Yes, I know.
That you don't have to show your face. We've got so many hubs and so many platforms that you don't have to. The technology has actually advanced that we are using AI to do ad without showing your face. There is a chat GPT that you can use. There is this what's this other one called? There's various apps that you can use that you don't necessarily have to use, and there are other ways you can go around that until you are comfortable. Oh yeah, until you are comfortable to show your face. Those are the challenges, but the benefit of the business, like you said, is what it is, because when you see the result of what other people are achieving, obviously you want to come out of your shell and just go for it, because it is real, it is legit. The business is pensionable, by the way. It is transferable.
Taxable.
It's taxable. It's transferable to your family members. Let's say you, and you know, the list is endless. You just need to come in.
I'll come back to you, Ajia. By the time you'll be the one to actually close the chat. So I want to hear from you, Sir Synergy. I actually love these names: Endurance. So they're actually, you know, been in there for I don't know how long, maybe less than a month as well, because I understand that you pick it up from the advert on Mayegun's Diary Political. That if Mayegun says it's fine, right? It is not MMM, it's not get rich quick, it's not a scam or something, then it must be right. So you checked it out and you went beyond just paying the $149. Now you are a business owner there, going through your own trainings too as well. What has been your experience so far, sir?
Yeah, Mr. Mayegun General.
Yes, sir.
My response to these questions is going to be general. It's not going to be technical.
Right.
I just want to first of all appreciate you.
Thank you, sir.
If not for you, I won't be here. And I want to thank Mrs. Nike Olajire for bringing this thing up. I have never involved myself in gambling, MMM, whatever you call in my life. I'm 60 years of age now. And you said synergy. I've been a politician in Nigeria because before Nigeria showed me, happened to me, and I came to America. So I know what I'm talking about. You are a God-sent person, no matter what anybody is saying. If not for you, I won't be here. I won't be in this business. Now, for me to say this, I was a former council chairman in the Ekiti State. So I've seen money, I've touched money. I'm an engineer, a graduate of Ife, and a master's degree in the University of Ado-Ekiti. So I've seen money. But this thing is what I've been looking for in life. And thank God, when I see that it was coming from Mayegun, I know you do your due diligence before you say anything. Immediately, I plug into it. Why I say it's going to be general is this. Through Mrs. Nike and you have opened a channel of words for your followers that are watching right away. I cannot joke with my $100 because I suffer before I get it here with my age. I am telling you, I pay $149, thinking that within 1 week, I'm going to get my money back. But when I was going through the process, I have become an advertiser, advertising to my colleagues. Come and see, this one is different. And today, let me shock you.
Yes, sir.
I'm happy that I'm here. My products, all my products arrived yesterday. All my products. Just to tell you how genuine this online business is. And when you look at the testimony of people that are doing it, not Africans, not Nigerians, from every part of the world, unless, one, you are lazy, two, you are looking for quick money, get rich quick, three, you are not ready to put your time into it, then if you are in that category, this business is not for you. But if you are somebody that want to change, you want something to, look at what Elijah just said. This kind of business is transferable. In a couple of days now, I will be in Nigeria to go and teach my children how they will plug into this business. Because if I build houses after my demise, anything can happen. But if I teach them this, I believe they can continue their life with. So, my experience, I'm getting joy every day. It's not $149. Oh, the money I paid, maybe I will not be allowed to mention it here. I'll pay the money, but no single regrets. No single regrets for paying it. So, all I can tell you is just to thank you, to thank Elijah for letting us. I asked a question from Elijah. I said, Elijah, why has people not been hearing this program before now? To let you know how much I cherish it when I started. So not to take too much of your time, Mayegu, you are doing good, you are doing great thing for Nigerians. Because majority of people that are watching your programs are the people that are not happy with what is going on with our country, Nigeria. So majority, I may not have contributed before now, but every Saturday when I have the opportunity of sitting down in my place of work, I tune to my Geopolitical to see what is going on in Nigeria. So let me appreciate you once again.
Thank you so much, sir.
Online program is legit, is good for anybody that just wants his life to change. Like I said, 6 months, I have given myself a year. In the next 1 year, I will still come back to you to come and give more testimony about this online business.
So shall it be. Yeah, so shall it be. And I am very happy that you have, you've kind of like taken it further, and it shows that all it takes is positivity, like Elijah said. You just have to have that positive mind. Same way Endurance also said, right? If you don't try it, if you don't check it out, you cannot tell whether it is for you or it's not for you. One thing I know is that it may not be for everybody. Because number one, there's a part of you that must want to do something. Then, like Endurance said, there must be something motivating you that you want to try this out. And thirdly, you must actually have the dedication that it requires. It is not a get rich quick sort of a thing. So I appreciate that. So Ajia, you have brought us something that it won't, because people have had a lot of bad experiences with it, this online stuff. If I didn't sign up like I did, I'll probably be skeptical too. Remember, we've had this conversation. I mean, we've been having this conversation for months before I finally said, okay, you know what? Yes. Let's try it. Because I am also a very skeptical person. I am someone who believes that I have managed to build a reputation for myself. Yeah. And I do not want to put my listeners who trust me in financial ruin. I won't. And that is why I said the only thing that sold it to me is the fact that people have a chance to say, okay, I'm not doing it again. I'll get my money back. So anything you put your money in and you are not losing your money, right, is a sold to me. And that was why every time I introduce or advertise this, I always said, listen, if you check it out and you think it's not for you, easy peasy, cancel it and get your money back, right? So, Ajia, finally, if you have a chance of saying something to my listener, to our listeners tonight about this opportunity, what would that be from your mouth?
Yeah, thank you, Mayegu. All I want to say to everyone is that we are all abroad because we are looking for a green pasture, and we know with the experience, everybody, if you put like 100 people, we are all probably having the same experience, working 2 jobs, 3 jobs to make ends meet. At the end of it, there is nothing to show for it. We are in debt. We are struggling to pay school fees. We are struggling. We don't have time for our family. But this is an opportunity to change. Whatever change in life you are looking for. Maybe you want to retire early. Maybe you've got a mission or vision or goal that you want to achieve. Come and check this out. As long as you're ready to put in the effort and you are coachable and you've got the positive right mindset, this thing is real, is genuine, is legit. People are seeing result. You can, if you put your mind to it, you're going to get it. And another thing I want to say is, you don't necessarily have to do it full time. You can do it as a part time, 2-3 hours a day. Plug in and do whatever you need to do, and you can do it at your own pace. Nobody is monitoring you. Nobody is straight chasing you. They built you. They built that business for you. It's a franchise. You run it at your own, whichever way you want to, you want to go about it. You make it your own. You do the diligence and make sure you get the result. Yeah, it is a fantastic experience.
Age seems not to be a problem now. Like, I'm older, I'm like this, so I think it's for me.
Let me come in that. Let me come in. I was going to say that in our group, because you got subgroup, like it's all over the globe. You got people all over the globe. You got people from different country. In our group, we got subgroups, and there is a medical doctor among us. He's a 74 years old man. We thought he was the oldest until last week, when we went into one of our monthly meeting, and this woman turned up. Guess how old he was? 83 years old. Wow. 83 years old. You would think of the woman said, I'm 83, but I don't want to stay at home. I'm doing this job. I'm tired, but I want something that is going to keep my mind going. Okay? And, the tech aspect of it doesn't put her away. She's able to do it. She went through the training and she enjoyed it. She's seeing the result. So it's for all age. Please do come in and check it out. You will not regret it.
Thank you very much, Ajia. I was thinking this was going to be like for just 10 minutes, but I could listen to all of you tonight. Sincerely. So yeah, to our viewers, please, it's the same process, all right? If you bring out your phone and you scan this QR code, you will read more of what they are just saying here now tonight. And if you want to check it further, where you can get all the materials, the real materials that they are talking about, where you get to be trained and be introduced to it properly, and what it takes. Okay, what are you selling and what are you introducing to your own friends and all that? Scan this QR code. Okay, click on the website that pops up on your screen. Read more, and yeah, I probably will be bringing you back here like I just did to with the endurance and synergy, sir, by sharing your own personal experience. I wish you all the best, everyone. Okay. Because I am waiting for a time when you become that successful, so that we can say in the temple, we are not only just sharing information, enlightenment, we're also spreading wealth. I want to see that day. Okay, all the best to all of you. Thank you so much. Ajia, and the rest.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Bless you. So, to the rest, I am so sorry that it took a lot of our time this evening discussing that. I just wanted to put the face beside, not behind, the face beside this segment. They sponsored for a whole month. They sponsored our calling segments. And then if you have any question, just ask. There's no forcefulness or abuse to this, okay? And if you think it's not for you, just cancel it and get your money back. I wish you all the best. So I am going to call it tonight now. Enjoy the rest of your evening, all right? And I will see you all again. So good night, brethren.
Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò.
Mayegun diary, Mayegun number one.
Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò.
Mayegun diary, Mayegun number one.
Mayegun ti dé o, ọ̀rẹ́ ará ìlú.
Mayegun diary, Mayegun number one.
Lórí Facebook, lórí YouTube.
Mayegun diary, Mayegun number one.
Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Mayegun já wa sí.
Mayegun diary, Mayegun number one.
Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o.
Mayegun diary, Mayegun number one.
Bó bá ṣe eré, àní Mayegun máa wí.
Mayegun diary, Mayegun number one.
Ó sì tún ṣe eré, wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o.
Mayegun diary, Mayegun number one.
Mayegun diary, diary political.
Mayegun diary, Mayegun number one.
Godfatherism kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Mayegun.
Mayegun diary, Mayegun number one.
Ẹ farabalẹ̀ sẹ́ o kẹgọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu o.
Mayegun diary, Mayegun number one.
Àní Mayegun làwa mọ̀ tó dòdòdò.
Mayegun diary, Mayegun number one.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé. Mayegun ti dé.
Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Lórí Facebook.
Mayegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Lórí YouTube.
Mayegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Bọ́ bàbá gbé wúrẹ́.
Mayegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Ijó ìgbádìyẹ.
Mayegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Pẹ̀sìdó bá rúfin o.
Mayegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Kí gómìnà kówó jẹ.
Mayegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Ọlọ́pàá tí ń gba rìbá.
Mayegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Aṣòfin tí ń rúfin o.
Mayegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Òpùrọ́ olóṣèlú.
Mayegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran o.
Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ o Máyégún ó sọ pé wọ́n ò fẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀. wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ Máyégún ó sọ pé wọ́n ò fẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀. oníkanṣá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe fáwọn ará ìlú tó gbé wọn débẹ̀ o àyè.
Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
kì máa yí ṣe eré ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. kì máa yí ṣe eré ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. ẹni bá ti lè lẹ́bọ̀ lẹ́rù o ọmọ bá dèrò kàṣàyè tú wọn síta.
Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
tẹnitẹni ọmọ Máyégún ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni mo fọlọ́hún sọ ẹ̀ bá kìlẹ́bù. lóòótọ́ olódodo ìlú ọ̀tá ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni ìwọ ṣá máa ń ṣọ́ra kò sì mọ́ bẹ̀rù. bọ́tà ń lè rí bóníṣègùn lé káwọn mọ̀mọ́ fi ṣera wọn ni ó ti dẹrùn tí wọn ò gbọ́dọ̀ sè mọ́bẹ̀. èèpo ọ̀bọ̀lọmọ bá dérò tàjẹ́ ò gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ́ ó ti jọba lórí àbínú ẹni kò sì mọ́ bùyà. àìsíwọ́lu ní ẹnìkẹ́ ìgbódì ẹyin lábàrá o ó kó ẹni tó bá dán wò á kàmù. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ túnra kì. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ túnra kì o. ẹni bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dèrò òní fi wọ́n níran o.
Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.